昔のゲームのやりやすさを残した面白さっていうのをすごく感じました。
Well, actually, initially it was going to be just me making the music for the game, but then the scope of the project just kept on growing as the creators started adding more and more ideas, and I figured that I wouldn't be able to do the soundtrack by myself. It was going to be a big thing that required a lot of talented people, and so I spoke to the developers of the game, and I asked them if we could, get in touch with some musicians, and we made a list, and obviously Fujita-san was in that list, and we're just like super happy that we were able to get her in the game to collaborate with us. For me personally, it's a dream come true again, but I think her presence really made a lot of difference, and we're very happy to have her there.
Thank you.
So Denshattack, it's a very, let me think of the words. It's a very stylish, very imaginative, very rebellious game with a well-written story mixed in. But it's just this insane experience with really stylish graphics. They look like, old school cel-shaded graphics, very much in the vein of like Jet Set Radio and stuff like that. So it pays homage to that. But it's also very filled with creative ideas, right? Because we're controlling a train, doing all of these crazy tricks throughout various locations of Japan, right? That are based upon real stuff and real scenarios and really cool stuff. So I'd say it's just an insane trip. It's great. It's crazy on the eyes and just just very creative. In terms of the music, it just tries to go hand in hand with the game and give you the musical version of those feelings, I suppose, those feelings of exhilaration and adrenaline, just high speed and, crazy, unexpected stuff popping out of everywhere. Very stylish, very urban genre, lots of urban genres mixed with some rock, mixed with some electronic music. So it's a big mix of stuff, and I think it's one of the most creative aspects of the game is precisely the fact that we were able to bring different musicians in from different parts of the world and come up with a tapestry of stuff of music that's really varied and interesting, but somehow still all fits together in the same package.
私が作った曲に関しては青森県のねぶた祭りのステージなんです。でラッセラを入れてほしいということで曲の中にラッセラをちょっと知り合いにすごいラッセラ向きのボーカルの人がいたのでその人に頼みました。それですごいゲームはしたんですけどその時動画だけを見てたんですけどスピード感がすごくておそらくこのゲームはすごく難しいんじゃないかと思ったんですがビットサミットの時にプレイしてみてこれが普通のこのレーシングゲームのようにすごい操作が簡単で思ったように動いてくれるのですごくやりやすかった。昔のゲームのやりやすさを残した面白さっていうのをすごく感じました。
But I mean, there's just so many places to draw from. Well, first and foremost, I've always been a big fan of Japanese music, be it pop or traditional music. In video games, I've always heard music made by Japanese people, right? And even though lots of that music was like influenced more by Western music, it always had that Japanese flavor that, you can't really escape, if you want to put it that way, because there's really no reason to escape it at all. So you get a certain feel after so many years of listening to Japanese music and the Japanese flavor of music that it's, I don't want to say it becomes second nature to make music with a Japanese flavor, but it definitely has influenced my own style so much throughout the years that it's part of my composer DNA, if you want to call it that, just by design. There were some tracks in which I went and did some research and listened to some traditional music, to some traditional instruments, the way they were played, or looking for sources that I could sample from, because this game has a lot of sampling, copying, scrolling, and stuff like that. So yeah, just drawing inspiration from all those elements, and then mixing in my own influences, my own stuff. There's a lot of hip hop in there, which is obviously American. There's lots of rock, like I said. There's electronic music also. It's not strictly a Japanese thing. I think with the music, it's more of a kind of like a fusion of styles, in which the Japanese part is well present, but it's exclusively that. We wanted to have more avenues to explore and to create, and to just really get really creative with it without sticking too much to a particular thing, even though it's a Japanese setting, like you guys said.
私はそうですね、やっぱり今回はねぶた祭りということで、祭りの大太鼓、太鼓、笛、三味線とかを主にしながら、そのゲーム音楽らしさの中にそれを取り込んで、すごい今回意識したのは、ステージの流れに全て曲を合わすということを意識して、どこでどう切り替わっていくのかは分かんないんですけども、もう画面のステージの画面にもう完璧に合わせにいったという感じです。
Right. Yeah. Dynamic. Yeah. Really cool. Now that she says that, I did a track that pertains to a Japanese festival as well, to the Fire Festival in Kyoto. And that track does have a lot of traditional elements, traditional instruments of Japan. Shakuhachi, aiko, lots of taikos, but then that's mixed with electronic music and all of this crazy creative stuff. Oh, I'm as happy as ever. I had already had the pleasure of collaborating with Fujita-san in the past, and to tell her that I'm a big fan and have been a big fan for a long time. So having the opportunity to do anything with her or in the same project is always a big pleasure to me, in a big way, a realization of a childhood dream, and also, proof that dreams do come true. So it's always a very, very good, very warm feeling.
私の印象はなんか子供の時からトンバをやってくれてて、すごいファンやっていうのは聞いてたんですけど、今日初めてお会いして、もうすごいちょっと緊張してたんですけど、どんな方かすごく親しみやすい、なんか優しそうな感じでよかったなと思ってるのと、これはちょっと不思議なんですけども、実は私の父親の若い頃の雰囲気を持ってるんですよ、T さんが。すごく似た感じがあって、で私はそれをすごい感じたので、私の母親にも T さんの写真を見せたら、いや似てるわ言うて、母親がすごくT さんと私の父親の面影が似てるっていうのも母親も言ってました。だからすごく親戚のような感じに思ってます。
Oh wow, thank you so much. That means a lot. And now I'm curious to see the picture. I have to see it at some point.
今度日本に来た機会があれば父の写真を持っていきます。
Be very special. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Oh yeah, so it's actually the third time that I have the wonderful opportunity to work with Fujita-san on a project. The first time was with Brave Wave for Giants, in which we collaborated with Tateshi-san to create an original song, and it was a really cool collaboration. The second time was on Tomba's reissue, like she just mentioned, and now on Denshattack. You asked me also if what works I knew of hers, and turns out I knew a lot more than I knew that I knew because back in the day it was hard unless you beat a game. This was before internet, before all that. It was unless you beat a game and look at the credits, it was very hard to know who was the composer for a game. And even then, many times the name of the composers was switched out for different moniker, like a different name. So many times it was hard to know. And that's why Yuzo Koshiro was the first Japanese composer that I knew, because his name was in the title screen of a couple of the games that he did, right? So I've known her work since, Ghosts and Goblins. I knew Bionic Commando. I knew Final Fight, obviously. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I played for the NES. I had that game. Mega Man 3, all of that stuff. I just never knew that it came from her mind, right? So I only found out about her, about who she was, who was the person behind the music after Tomba, because when I did finish the game, that's a little bit older then, and I was starting to pay attention to the composers around me and starting to really gain this interest in video game music. So I came to find out about a lot of her work retroactively after digging deeper and exploring the world of video game music more.
私の方はそのジャイアンツ、ブレブレプロダクションの CD でテイさんが作った曲を私がアレンジして、私がアレンジしたのをさらに T さんがアレンジしたんですけど、その最終仕上がりがすごくよくって、私はそのA メロってなったらすごい凝ったコードを使ってたんですね、2回とも。でも T さんは1回目は単純なコードにして、2回目にすごい凝ったコードを持ってくることによってコード進行ね、すごいそのコード進行が生きてきたんですね、私の作ったやつが。こういうアレンジ力の素晴らしさを私はすごく感じていて、 T さんのそのつけるコード進行とかが私はもうすごく好きで、アレンジの仕上げがすごくパーフェクトだと感じてます。
That means so much. She has no idea how much that means to me. Thank you so much.
無双インフィニティバンド
That would be great. But first and foremost, I want to get all together and eat together and sing karaoke.
もちろんそれが楽しみでやってるんでゲストミュージシャンとして参加してくれますか？
We have to make that happen. Absolutely, I would love that.
T さんはキーボード、ギターもするの？
I play the keyboard terribly.
ギター？
No, zero.
ゼロ
No, I program a lot of my music. Yeah, I know a little bit of keyboard, enough to play some songs and some simple stuff, but I'm not not prodigal or anything like that.
作曲は打ち込みでやってるわけです。
So I grew up being a big fan of Japanese culture, and be it the food or the animation or the video games, it was always around me. So it's still surreal to me that I would one day have fans of my own in Japan. So I'm very, very, very thankful. I feel very honored to be able to contribute to many Japanese people's playlists and thus well-being if they enjoy my music. And like I said before, I really hope to perform for you or to DJ for you or to be in Japan with as many people as possible and be together and have a great time no matter what we're doing. So Japan, I'm coming one day very soon, and I hope to see you all. And thank you so much for the love and support.
電車アタックのゲームは本当に私でも簡単にできて、本当にレーシングゲームっていう感覚で操作がすごくやりやすいんですね。で、なんかやりやすいからすごくゲームの中に入っていけるし、やっぱりサウンドもすごくいいので、ぜひぜひ一度ゲームプレイしてみてください。